What's up, guys? Z here. I just wanted to give you guys an update on how it's been going for me in Diablo. I know the last time I did a collaboration with my buddy Viper, that was pretty fun. I've gotten stronger since then. I've done a few new things, and the first video I did on Diablo, you saw me struggle with. It was level 60 Rift. I I really had a hard time with that. That's like really not a challenge anymore. I'll show you what I'm wearing. I'll show you my skills, and I'll show you where I'm going to be heading with my equipment and everything like that. And I will let you know where I'm at currently on the Rift levels. So, without further ado, I'm obviously still wearing the Unhallowed set. I have now an ancient version of the helmet, which is superior. I think there's like a 30% stat increase over the non-ancient versions. As you can see, ton of dex, ton of Vite. I even got the multi-shot damage increase, which it helps a little bit. And you can see right here, I can't really show you because I can't hover over it with the mouse, but 275 dex from a rank 55 legendary gem. Now I started leveling up gems that I don't use so I can put them on my gear. Just so I can get more main stat. So it does help. Still got the reduced cooldown on all skills on there. No change. Shoulders are exactly the same. I actually re-rolled to reduce cooldown by 6% on most stuff. So my cooldown reduction is at 41, which is actually overkill. But that's fine. I needed it to be where I'm up in Vengeance 24/7. So that's that. My Hellfire Amulet is still the same one I had when I was playing with Viper. And it's an ancient, and it was actually the first one I made, like I said. I do want to make another one, and I do want to make another ancient one, because the passive is actually pretty crap, but it's whatever for now. You know, if I get lucky and I build another one, I'll swap it out. But my stone actually changed. I used to have, if you remember, I had, where is it? This one, the Bane of the Stricken. I really like that 25% increased damage against bosses and Rift Guardians. That was very helpful. And the fact that no matter how many times I hit you, you're going to get more damage every single time seemed very attractive to me. However, the main problem with this is that, honestly, most enemies don't really last very long unless they're extremely difficult. And that little 1% tick, I mean, it sounds nice, but it's really not going to make a huge impact. So I replaced it with this one, the z.exe Stone of Vengeance. This one is pretty sweet, I gotta say. It's kind of like that skill steady aim. As long as your enemies are far away, you deal more damage. So mine is at level 57 right now. The damage it deals increased by 8.56% for every 10 yards between me and the enemy hit. Max at 42.8% at 50 yards. 20% chance on hit to stun for 1 second is also fantastic. It really slows down when the shit hits the fan, to be honest. The damage is actually much more substantial. Because think about it. That 25% on the Rift Guardians, okay. Well, think about 42.8 on everything all the time, because with multi-shot builds you want to be away from them. So I might creep a couple steps and a multi-shot and multi-shot step multi-shot step multi-shot. I do it constantly in a Rift. I want them as far away as possible, and usually it wrecks their face. When they get near me, I vault back a couple times and I reset. Just it's rinse and repeat, but it does a shit ton of damage. I definitely like that I swapped this out. That's a big deal. Chest is still not ancient. Kind of disappointed. I've been rolling every single time I get blood shards, and I can hold 1180 to get a freaking ancient chest, and I haven't gotten it yet. The gloves, I actually did get an ancient. However, the stats rolled were terrible, so I'm not using it currently. And I re-rolled for cooldown on skills on that one. These Wraps of Clarity, I don't have an ancient version of that either, and I really want one, but I haven't gotten lucky enough to get it. My rings are exactly the same. I've had the ancient version of Restraint, and I have my Bane of Powerful at rank 48. It's honestly my third tier legendary gem, because honestly all I'm increasing is the amount of time, which 78 seconds is actually a pretty substantial amount of time when you're flying through elite pack after elite pack in the rifts. The only time it's maybe not enough and I need to level it a few more times is on extremely high greater rifts where the enemies are quite a bit harder and it takes a little bit longer. It's good for now. This is ancient, but it's not the one I want. You know, if I find something better, I'll throw it on. But for now, I got that. Nothing special. My focus ring, I actually found an ancient version of that. That was cool. More stats. And I've leveled up my Bane of the Trap to 58 now. And every time, I mean, I have an aura from this thing. Within 15 yards, they get slowed by 30%. But every time I hit anybody, they get slowed by 80%. So every single person I'm hitting is getting this 32.4% extra damage against them. Fantastic. All right, so that's that. Also, these the set bonus thing, when you hit with my evasive fire, I get 50% damage increase for 5 seconds. The wraps of clarity give me reduced damage by 33% for 5 seconds. And when I hit with Multishot, now I increased my damage 50% more for 5 seconds. So that's up all the time. But when I am shooting, I'll do usually about 3 multi-shots, 4, and then I'll throw in an evasive fire, increase my damage resistance, and also my damage output. That's good to have up all the time. My pants are actually ancient versions now. That's awesome. More stats, more power, and you can see I have another legendary gem, rank 50 only in there, but still 250 dex. Pretty good. The feet I have an ancient version of. I don't remember if I had an ancient version before, but I do now. They're not bad. More multi-shot damage, which is always nice. I haven't gotten an ancient Dead Man's Legacy. I really, really want one, and I want it to roll with a 60% multi-shot hit below 60% hits twice. That would be fantastic, because that plays right off of my other passive. Come on. The ambush skill. You deal 40% more damage with enemies above 75% health. I want to close that gap, so there's very minimal distance between my bonus damaging. So 40% extra when they're high, and double damage when they're low. That's why multi-shot is so serious. On top of, I shouldn't be getting into this right now, but I guess I'll do my passives right now. Enemies hit by your hatred spenders are slowed by 80% for 2 seconds, which is my multi-shot, which is bread and butter. I do it all the time. So everybody's slowed all the time. This increases the damage against the slowed enemies by 20% more, which is, why not? It's free damage. And then my rocket damage, which, I mean, basically multi-shot vengeance, your rockets are flying freaking everywhere, so you need to have that up. I'll just really quickly go over this. I went over it last time with Viper. Evasive fire with the focus. Vault with the tumble, preparation with invigoration, companion wolf companion, vengeance seethe, multi-shot arsenal. This is for more hatred generation. This is to reduce the cost of it, so I can do it willy-nilly and not really worry about cutting into my set bonus on my unhallowed essence. This is so I can restore my discipline if it gets slow for some reason, and also gives me permanent 20 more discipline, which I'll explain why that's super, super important. Wolf companion deals damage. Nobody cares, but it gives you a 30% increased damage for 10 seconds, which is awesome. Seethe gives you rockets flying freaking, or no, never mind. It gives you 10 hatred per second, so you can just spam the shit out of multi-shot. And then multi-shot arsenal gives you the rockets everywhere, which is awesome. Alright, so that's the skills. One more thing about this unhallowed essence set, and then the bow, and then I'm done with the stuff. You can see on 2 set, 4 set, and 6 set, the 2 set, your generators generate 2 additional hatred and 1 discipline. That's helpful for keeping up those orbs, your orbs down here. Hatred obviously is for my multi-shot, and discipline is for my damage multiplier, which you'll see in the 6 set. You gain 60% reduction and 60% increased damage for 8 seconds if nobody is within 10 yards of you. This, you can see, is up 24/7. And that's another reason why I want to stay away from people at all times. In addition to the increased damage when I'm way, way far away, this is another reason why. It's just more and more and more. And then for the 6 set, which is the real king of the whole thing, your generators, multi-shot, and vengeance all deal 40% more damage for every single point of discipline you have. 40% times 86. That's a fuckload of damage. Last time I checked. Do you need a calculator? You should probably get a calculator. Alright, and then the last thing, the bow. The bow I've been trying so freaking hard. So goddamn hard to get a fucking ancient version of this bow. I would love to have an ancient version of this thing. I've rolled max discipline on it for that extra damage. Multi-shot attacks 50% faster. There's really no other choice. It's socketed with crit damage. I mean, my crit damage is not the best. It's only 230. I really wish it was over 300. But my critical hit chance is at the sweet spot of 50%. Not too shabby. You might notice one more thing. I'm at Paragon 607. Yeah, I did some work. Last time I did a solo video, I was at like 400. So let's look at my Paragon situation. Obviously, movement speed is maxed out. Max hatred. I never fucking run out of hatred ever. Vitality. It would be nice, I guess, to have not be one-shotted all the time. I don't really care. I try to stay away from everything and deal tons of freaking damage. So I dump everything into Dex in the core category. So I'm getting 510 free percent on damage. Offense. I actually just finished doing my critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and cooldown reduction all at 50. Which is big deals. That's really helpful. And now I'm getting my attack speed up, which it does help. The more damage you can get out in a certain amount of time does keep people away from you. That is helpful. But it's not as important as the crit hit damage or chance. It's not even close. For the defense, I did resist all first. Then I did the life percent second. First, I'm a retard. Then armor I did third. Now I'm doing life regen because life regen, honestly, even maxed out, I don't even have a lot of life, and I have 600k. Do you know what this 214.6 per second per point? I mean, it's like negligible, honestly. So it's just whatever. I'm going to put it in there as that's the only thing I got to put it in. Over here, I did resource cost reduction and area damage first. Area damage, obviously, multi-shot is massive area damage. Why wouldn't you want 50% more? Resource cost reduction obviously is awesome. Keeps your discipline high, keeps your hatred high, especially since you're spamming the shiz out of it. Life on hit is, I mean, it's not gonna save your life, I don't think, but it's a whole lot better than Gold Find. And I'm hitting so many people so many times. You know, I can get like 50, 60k ticks when I hit somebody, or a couple people at once. So that's that. And then I put my first level in the Gold Find because I gotta put it in something. So that's that. In case you're wondering, I have pretty crappy stuff on my companion person. He's got this. He doesn't have the ancient version. He's got this. It's whatever. It's whatever. Yeah, I mean, it only sucks away like maybe 8 million, 7.5 million. It's honestly nothing. It doesn't do anything, and it's even Dex. I don't really care. He doesn't die. He's just somebody to hold them back for me. Whatever. I have him set up with intervene to taunt them off me, loyalty to regenerate my life so I don't die every 5 fucking seconds. Well, maybe every 6. And charge to interrupt people and get their attention. And then if I'm starting to die and I don't die in one shot, which is rare, he'll come and blow them all off me like a freaking champ and help me out. So that's that. As far as the rotation on when I'm attacking people, preparation I hardly ever use unless I'm vaulting like freaking all over the place. You go, you hit companion, vengeance, and you start multi-shotting immediately. I usually will hit them both, hit evasive fire, and just spam like 4 shots, hit an evasive fire in there, hit a shot. When they get near me, I'll back it up. And same thing. Just keep repeat, rinse and repeat over and over and over. And as you'll see, I mean, unfortunately, there's like no way in hell you're going to get enough cooldown reduction to keep companion up 24/7. But my vengeance just ended, and my vengeance was already ready to go again. So that's awesome. Oh yeah, Kanai's Cube. I haven't showed you what my passive stuff is. Convention of Elements. There's only 4 elements that demon hunters deal with. You have fire, a cold, the lightning, and physical, I believe. So fire is up every every 16 seconds for 4 seconds, and fire is your main damage output. I mean, depending on your weapon. Like I have Holy, that's not going to get a boost, but I don't really fucking care. It leads into the Cinder Coat, reduces resource cost of fire skills by 30%. If you read into the Vengeance, the Rockets, the Multishot, everything, they all deal fire damage. So you can see 3 rockets, they deal fire. And I'm dealing a fuckload of rockets, so I'm dealing a ton of fire damage. So these 2 are all about that fire damage, son. This one is the only choice that you have for a weapon Kanai Cube power. Reduces your cooldown on Vengeance by 65%. Keep in mind, Vengeance is up for 20 seconds. You just saw mine finish before the 20 seconds was up, and it's a 90-second cooldown. That's freaking huge, man. That's ridiculous. It got done about the same time as the Companion, and the Companion is 30 seconds. Let that soak in. This build is balls awesome. Freaking amazing. So now, I'll show you how far I got in the graders. I run 60s like all day. I even run 65s now, like just to level up the gems and everything. So I pushed it. I went for the top one that was available, because after you hit 68's the highest greater rift that you can obtain when you start running your greater rifts. So you have this. I ran it just to see if I could do it, and this was like probably a week or 2 ago, and I beat it. I mean, it was hard, don't get me wrong, but I did beat it. Remember I was struggling with 60 like real bad, and I freaking lost that shit? Yeah, I beat 68 now, and I can do 69. However, I haven't tried 69 because I'm trying to finish leveling up this legendary. I want to get to 55, and then I'm going to put it on a piece of gear. I probably will put it on the boots because they're ancient now, so I'm not really going to swap them out unless I get somehow a slightly better stat roll, like with 600 plus on the stats. Then I'll switch it out. But I'm going to throw this at level 55 for another 275 dex on my feet. When I have that, my dex will be over 11,000. That's not too shabby. I will run a 69, and I probably will beat it, honestly. And that's my plan. That's pretty much it. I'm not really doing any playing right now. I just wanted to explain where I was. This is a quick little shindig on what's going on with my build since the last time I talked to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got some information. You should totally try a Demon Hunter. They're freaking awesome. I actually started leveling up other characters. I'll show you real quick. I got my Crusader to 70. I got the Demon Hunter to 70, obviously. My Wizard to 70. My Barbarian's at 56. And I actually started the other 2 classes. I want to get them all to 70 so I can play around with all of them. So that's that. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Later.